morning, my lovelies, and welcome to another video. It's Sewing Tuesday, and before I get on to showing you what my thoughts are for the latest prompt for Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, I just wanted to show you oh, excuse me, a couple of books. I think I might have shown these a long while ago, but they are my go-to. I love these two for all things embroidery or looking for something different, because I think if you're like me, I have my own favourite stitches and I don't push myself out of my comfort zone very often to do things that I'm not familiar with or are a bit tricky. And so these help. So this is called Embroidery Stitches. It's by Mary Webb. Over 400 contemporary and traditional stitch patterns. And what I like about it is that it has got diagrams and showing you like positioning of the needle, etc. It really is a good go-to if you want to look up any stitches or remind yourself. And I've sort of just been flicking through it now, knowing I was going to show it you today, and I'm thinking, oh, that looks really nice. I think I'll have a go at that. I mean, look at this one. It's called the Crow's Foot. Or a fabulous Christmas tree that would make, you know. So it's a good wealth of inspiration. So that's that one. I don't think it was too expensive. This, I've had this a long time. This is from Anchor Wools. And this is just showing you a quick guide to the easy stitches. And there's a thread, needle and fabric chart. So it sort of tells you what needles they recommend for the type of fabric or what size needles, which is really useful. I mean, it was £2 from the co-op, so I've had it years. But you might be able to find this. So this is Coats Crafts UK, and it's book number LF1067, 32 embroidery stitches. So there's that one I thought you might like to know. And then this one is the Encyclopedia of Embroidery Techniques, the unique visual directory of all the major embroidery techniques, plus inspirational examples of traditional and innovative finished work. And this is by Pauline Brown, and Pauline Brown is quite well known in the textile sewing industry, I believe. And this is lovely as well. I mean, look at this pulled work. I'd love to be able to do that. Black work. So there's all different things in here. Textured stitches, shadow quilting, turned applique. At the back, there's some fabulous things that people have sewn. Look at these. Beautiful they are. Handmade bowls. So that is also a very good resource. I think it's Search Press. Let's have a look. Yes, a practical embroidery book from Search Press. They do a lot of crafting books, don't they? So I think you can get hold of those all around the world. So that's that one. And then quickly on to this one, which isn't entirely about stitches, but it's a lovely story. And if you are a reader as well, like me, Tracy Chevalier is the lady that wrote The Girl with the Pearl Earring. And she, you know, she's quite a prolific author. And a few years ago, she got involved in something called the Sleep Quilt. And it's by herself, Tracy Chevalier, and Fine Cell Work. And it got me thinking, about how sewing, stitching, crafting is so good for the soul and so good for the well-being. And in this project, I'll just read a little bit to you, but the sleep quilt, it says, the sleep quilt is unlike any other quilt you will have seen. Commissioned by the novelist Tracy Chevalier, It is entirely stitched and quilted by prisoners in some of Britain's toughest jails. Each of the 63 squares explores what sleep means in prison. A moment of escape for some, for others a dark return to all they most regret in life. Sleep has a great significance in jail that is only strengthened by the difficulty of finding it in the relentlessly noisy, hot and cramped environment. And then she goes on a bit more about how. She was researching for a book in 2010. She said, I beginning researching on a historical novel set in mid-19th century America. My heroine, a young English Quaker, sails to the USA to make a new life in Ohio and comes face to face with the appalling realities of slavery. The Last Runaway, which is the book, I've not read it actually, I ought to, is a serious book questioning how one stands up for what is right in the face of opposition and danger, but it's not all doom and gloom. She then goes on to talk about, she likes her characters to have something to do. And in this, she decides, because of the Quaker influence, etc., she's going to have quilting in this. So she does a lot more research into it. So she put, it dawned on me during research for The Last Runaway that I could write more easily about quilting if I knew how to do it myself. I took a class, I joined a group, and to my astonishment, I am now a quilter. So in 2013, so it's a good while ago now, 10 years, The Last Runaway was published. And then she was contacted by some people to help curate a quilting show. And also somebody else got in touch with her who was a volunteer at the charity Find Cell Work. Now, Find Cell Work is a charity that is involved in the prisons here in the UK to all things sewing, and also as a sort of therapy to get thoughts, feelings, things down in stitch. And also, you know, like we say, it's good for the soul. So that's how it all transpired. And there's photos in here. I mean, some of the intricate work that some of the prisoners did to put together this quilt for this exhibition. And, you know, also the side of it that sort of helped. So there you go. A lot about sleep, but a lot about the power of crafting, sewing for our well-being. I was involved, let me think now, probably 5 years ago, I was involved in a sleep exhibition, shall want of a better word, and it was in York, and they had found about 100 old pillowcases from the really back in the day, the old times of the York hospitals, and they just found all these pillowcases in storage. And around that time, they were setting up the new sleep unit at York for people with sleep apnea, which I have. And so they brought the two things together to do an exhibition on sleep. And sort of I was accepted to be part of this exhibition. I'll have to show you the piece I did. I was really chuffed to be to get through to it, and we were all given one of these really old pillowcases to do our piece of work on, and then they were all hung up on rods, so that we're all hung down like banners. It was a really good experience. It went all around Europe. I was really chuffed. And so I thought I'd just tell you about that. But a lovely little book, and I think we all know the benefits of sewing, don't we? How it makes us feel. So, yeah. Now then, we're on vintage. What are we on? Vintage trim. I haven't got much, but in my stash, I had this. And about a year ago, I found this in a vintage shop. Even got, look, even got the bobbins on. So when this is used, I use these bobbins. It's very thin though, this. I use these bobbins to do some snippet rolls perhaps. So I've got that. And then this one. So that's, these are like antique. So they're the only pieces of antique trim I have for my piece. Now, I'm just going to show you, because I've sort of clicked it together. I'm going to show you what my thoughts are about this next piece. But also, can you remember, I said that my idea was, I've never done it before, but my idea was that I was going to have, oh, I don't know why I've taken that out because I want to pick the pages up. I was hoping to do mine a bit different. I've never done it where you flip your sewn pages up. So I've sort of pinned these in place because I want the layers, you know, a little bit hanging below, a little fringing below. So my very last, well, not very last page, but the page for this particular prompt for the vintage trim, I have made a really long page so that, because I think it'll have got 6 pieces there, and then the next set, whatever we're doing, I'll do that as another page. So what I've done is I've cut an extra long piece here as my background backing, and I've wrapped it over so that hopefully I can we can then see all the layers. And I thought how lovely this would be, this antique trim. So I just pinned bits together. Now I also thought this is really old embroidery from a tray cloth. So I'm hoping to put some of that down. For some reason, there was a corner that was on the end of this thing, and I thought, what am I going to do with that? Seeing as it's antique, I don't want to lose it. And I thought I might put it up there. I think this must be my junk journaling. We often put like little corner pockets, tucks, don't we? They're going to be like little tucks, I thought. This is going to be a pocket, so I want to have that as a pocket. And then obviously do more sewing around here. Have that as a little pocket. And also thought that, you see, I've got this. That's all there is. But I thought I might be able to do like a tag. Do a bit of embroidery around this and then have it as a tag inside there. I thought that might be quite nice. So I thought I'm not going to do any sewing today. It was just a quick video to come on, share my thoughts of what I was thinking. I've got this really old bit of vintage. I don't want to cover that up though, so I'm not quite sure whether I'll use that on here. I've got this. And then obviously I want to try and put these other antique bits on. But I thought that would look lovely because, as you can see, as our pages are going, I mean, obviously I've got to put something on the back. We'll decide that, won't we, later. But I've just stepped it up roughly how I thought that I would do it. There's our love one. Each got a little bit of lace dangling. I've still got quite a bit to do on that one. The embroidery fabric. And then obviously this one. But I think that, you know, I might not even use that. It might feel like a waste. I might get some other fabric and make a tag. I might even make it out of some burlap or something like that some really thick linen. I've got some odd pieces that might make, that I've got left over from a pack of Rachel's. And I might save this then. I might hoard that piece because that's all I've got of it. But that's how I'm thinking. And I quite like that idea. It's then got me thinking that I fancy doing a junk journal this way, in layers like this, instead of, you know, we always have them left to right or whatever. I thought, oh, I wonder if we have a junk journal like this, you know, with a big clip at the top. You could hold it up like this. I love it. I really love it. So there we are, quick video for today, just to jump on and let you know what my thoughts are for this next. I'm always a bit behind because I've that many things on the go. I seem to have got a frog in my throat today, so I'm sorry. Yeah, so let me know how you're doing, and have a look out for those books. I'll leave the details down below for you in case you didn't catch it. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.